Hi, welcome to this week's Sim Racing News Roundup, and we start off with Formula 1 2021, which in its latest update has added the new Jeddah circuit. So this is the new layout for the Saudi circuit, Jeddah Corniche circuit, which means those of you who have F1 2021 will actually have been driving on it potentially before the real world drivers have been driving on it, which is fun. So then moving over to Hot Wheels Unleashed, and this one really annoys me because Hot Wheels launched, it was a great title, it's Hot Wheels Unleashed obviously, but it did have quite an expensive season pass with it, which I went for because I want to see what the content's like and because I really like it as a game. And they've just completely soured that in my view by releasing the DC Supervillains Racing Season, which basically means you've got to buy something else. So it's £5 just under in the UK on top of the title and the season pass and the other DLC, and being perfectly honest, you've then got to grind to actually unlock stuff. So I'm not buying it because I'm not going to condone practices like this. I mean, it's difficult enough to condone some pre-purchase and pre-order schemes and some season passes that are out there, and normally to make sure I can cover it for the channel I go for these, but this one just it's annoyed me. It's a step too far, so it's out if you want to get it. I'm not going to be picking it up, unfortunately. We've then had WRC 10 unveil the details of the update that's coming next week. So that's the 25th, I believe this is coming out, and what we're getting here is the Acropolis Rally. So new for 2021 Acropolis Rally stages, so that's going to be good. Another stage and another location and another load of stages is always good. We get 5 new anniversary events, which is great fun, and 1 new rally car which has a question mark over it, so it's hidden, and that's in all likelihood going to be used with the anniversary events. I'd be surprised if it's anything else. There's some new stickers for the livery editor. Now, the Teams mode update has been postponed, and that apparently is going to be released as part of the January update, but same as everything, I'll leave a link down below so you can take a look at these. Moving then to NASCAR 21 Ignition, the worst game ever to be released in an appalling state, and they've released an update for this which apparently has added support for additional wheels and added wheel button functionality, as well as a few other bits and pieces. I'll be perfectly honest, I've not yet had an opportunity to try this or play around with this myself. I've had a really busy week, so I'm hoping over the weekend to be able to take a look at this and see if this is true. If anybody can confirm that buttons on your wheels do indeed work, particularly as T300 does, that's what I've got, please do drop it down in the comments below to let me know whether I'm wasting my time or not. We've then got Circuit Superstars patch v1.1.0 has been released, which primarily adds reverse tracks, so you get a reverse layout for the majority of the tracks. A few other bug fixes and other bits and pieces in there as well, so you can have a play around with that. It's a great solid little arcade racer, is Circuit Superstars, so well worth taking a look at. And then finally, this is an interesting one, and it's one that I'm going to end up doing a separate video on, but just wanted to talk about it, and my thanks to White Star over at the GT Planet forums for giving me a heads up around this. So with certain NVidia graphics cards, mainly the top end ones, you have Dlss, which is an image scaling solution. And it's a really impressive image scaling solution that basically gives you free boosts to frame rate with very little, if any, visible drop in quality. But it's something that does need to be added into titles, and to date no racing titles have been added to this, but we do now have the news that in a forthcoming update, Assetto Corsa Competizione is going to be added to the NVidia Dlss. which is going to be great because it's a very demanding title to run graphically, ACC. So if you've got a high-end card, this really is going to boost it out for you. But what if you're like me and you haven't spent loads of money on a fancy pants graphics card? Well, I run a 1660 Ti, which is an NVIDIA card, but it's not one that supports Dlss. But what NVIDIA have done recently through their GeForce interface, which is kind of it's used for optimizing games and playing around and updating your drivers, but they've just added an image scaling option to there. And while, again, busy with work, I haven't had a chance to play around with this. It works on a much wider range of NVIDIA cards. I think it's everything from a Turing build onwards, if my memory serves me, but please do check in the Rock Paper Shotgun article I've linked to down below. But this also has one other advantage, and that is it doesn't need to be implemented on a game-by-game basis. It will simply work with any title. So I'm going to have a play around with this and see what I can get working on this with a number of titles and see how well it goes with them, because I think it will be an interesting one to look at, particularly again for getting a potential boost out of titles such as ACC or BeamNG, all of which are very, very, very intensive, and also seeing if it works with boosting frame rates for VR headsets as well. So well worth having a play around with that one. I'm going to take a look with both of those. If you have used either of those, and you can let me know what the results are, particularly the NVIDIA image scaling that can be used on most cards, please do let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested in that. And then finally, what you've been looking at. So this is a 1988 Honda Prelude. You can find it over at Race Department. In fact, you can find all three of the mods in these videos over at Race Department, and they are Honda Prelude, as I say, from 1988. One of the nice things about this one is they've actually implemented extremely well the four-wheel steering that the Prelude of this gen had. The track itself is a 2021 version of Mosport, so a great circuit that doesn't tend to get as much love as a lot of other circuits, and if you watch my weekly roundups you'll know I like championing, that's not a word, championing, that's better, championing circuits that don't get necessarily the same kind of exposure as the more common Spas and Brands and Silverstones and places like that, and a really nice cam tool to go with that if you're using Cam Tool 2 as well. So that's this week's news roundup. If you've enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.